Looks like a Jaguar. It's got leather seats. It's got a CD
A classic internet viral video from 2019, but who would be responsible if there was a collision and this footage was available to all parties? Firstly, before we get into liability, 99% of regular viewers don't follow the page, so make sure to hit the follow button over there. So in this clip, the camera vehicle, which isn't involved in the Jaguar skirmish with the HGVs, is doing 85 miles per hour in lane 2. The Jaguar had just flashed the camera car out of the way, even though the camera car was in the process of overtaking a family MPV. The camera car had moved over to lane 1, let the Jaguar go, and has now moved back out into lane 2 to overtake another car. Up ahead in lane 1, an HGV has just moved into lane 2. The HGV did that because another HGV car transporter in a lay-by was exiting the lay-by with its indicators on. The Jaguar, with a hazard perception of Stevie Wonder, proceeds to move into lane 1 to try and undertake the first HGV, despite the fact that there's now a car transporter perfectly visible ahead, now committed and halfway into lane 1 from the lay-by. And it also has a dozen or so LED indicators flashing away. The Jaguar attempts to go around the car transporter, so is now directly behind the first HGV once again, which is now starting their move back to lane 1 when the Jaguar decides to try and go for another undertake, which the HGV would have no clue about given how close to the rear of the HGV the Jaguar is. Without this footage, it's likely any collisions that could have happened would have been settled on a split liability basis, because liability would be disputed by both parties and there'd be a lack of evidence. But this footage would clearly put liability with the Jaguar, as the footage is a clear example of unreasonable driving, lack of awareness of their surroundings, and lack of appropriate car control. When deciding liability, district judges will usually decide which driver's actions are the more reasonable, and in this case it will be clearly determined that the Jaguar's driving would be deemed unreasonable. And that is why liability would rest with the Jaguar driver. Lovely jubbly, sound as a pound.